Hey everybody. Okay, so I'm going to start the video momentarily, but I just want to start it off by saying I am going to explain what's happening in the videos and kind of tell you guys what I learned during this experience of making a Rabbit Hutch. If you want to just see the Rabbit Hutch and give a little tour, I'm going to put the link in the description. So go ahead and check that out. If you want to skip this time-lapse video of me making a Rabbit Hutch. So I'm going to watch it and talk about what I learned. Okay, so last winter we had a storm that blew down a whole bunch of trees in the back of the house. Not in the house, but in the back property of the house. And so I was utilizing the wood from that storm, from all the trees that got knocked over. I skinned all the bark, and the best thing I saw to use was a butcher knife. We used the chainsaw extensions, and then we used the scraper, and it was definitely a butcher knife that worked the best. Okay, and I was learning right now that it was really difficult to try to pair geometric, really well milled wood to round logs. So I did pretty good. But there's a few things I wish I had done differently. You can see that there was a few times where I was getting a little frustrated, and I was trying to measure twice and cut once, but that was really hard to do with a round log when one side is narrow and the other side is a little thicker. So otherwise, yeah, so I'm working on the front of it here. Yeah, definitely safety equipment, that's for sure. And it was a lot of fun. It's really hard work to do that. I don't have a lot of upper body strength, and those chainsaws are really tough to work, and you have to cut off all the knots and everything like that. So if I were to do this again, even though it looks really cool and it matches our woodshed and the chicken coop, I'd probably just use pre-measured wood, because it's hard enough as it is, let alone having to deal with logs. What you doing, Bo? Oh, okay. No. Hey, that's a no. We have taxidermy stuff in here that I'm working on, and he's barking at the bear. No. Yeah, and there's a Bo right there, actually. Working with me. Okay, as you can see here, I'm really trying my best to use that square edge. The biggest expense for me during this Rabbit Hutch process was the wire. I had to buy 4 sections of 10 foot. I didn't think I was going to need that much, or else I probably would have just bought it in bulk, but or a larger section. But so I ended up going to the hardware store, buying 2, and then buying 2 more later. So definitely plan for more. And okay, so I really wanted to do this by myself. So here I am lifting the back and the front, and that took a while. It doesn't look like it's that difficult in this video because it happened so fast, but it definitely took a while, and those things were heavy. And again, this whole process could have been done in just a few days if you're not stubborn like me and have help. But I don't know. For some reason, I just wanted to try to do it myself. However, even saying that, Chad helped me a ton. So, I mean, I couldn't have done this without all of the tools and knowledge and the air compressor that he already has. So basically, I would just say, hey, what bit do I need for this? So it was a cool learning experience for me. And you'll see the end. Like, you'll have to check out the actual tour of the little Rabbit Hutch. Yeah. And I was doing this all during the quarantine, which is right now. So that's definitely a good way to utilize some extra time on my hands. And okay, so that little saw I have, you can see it has a tiny little tip at the front, and that's a dime bar. And I got into chainsaw carving last year, and I feel bad because I need to use that saw more. No, puppy, you don't need to go on the bear. He wants to lay on the couch, which the bear is sitting on. All right, so one of my mistakes that I regret is happening right now. If you look at that post on the left-hand side, it's tilted out like this. I measured everything again and again, but apparently it just wasn't quite enough. So that it looks straight, and I'm also on uneven ground. So there's the log not being uniform and then the ground not being uniform. Again, I kept everything pretty square even through that, but yep, that log that's tilted out, it'll look even worse here, see? So yeah. Man. Oh well. And again, you can see the chicken coop there on the left-hand side, and I'm trying to mimic what we did there. So in just a miniature scale. Gotta love that random outfit. It looks so easy. Okay, and so that is a scrap metal from the chicken coop, which we got for free. It was recycled. There was holes in the from being nailed down or screwed down from the previous roof. It was a tear off from an old school. And so like I said, I really tried to recycle as much as I could. So I was just up there filling bows inside the coop. That's so funny. So I was in there filling in the holes, basically. No, puppy, you're okay. All right, and I'm putting the second layer of chicken wire. Oh no, that's the first layer. So the top shelf, there's two shelves going on right now. There's the top and then the bottom. Oh, kitty. It's fun to see what you happens when you're not around. Oh, see, here I am realizing that the ground is not level, so I'm really trying to push it and then drill at the same time. And again, this would have come with an experience, but I was so frustrated at this point because the screws kept falling out. And the reason why is because it didn't have the little magnetic thing in the drill. No, what is it called? Chadwood, the compact driver. Anyway, and hey, you're okay. Here, get right there. There you go. Right here. Here you go. Yeah, so you can see me like kind of adjusting it. And it's really square. It really is. Other than that one side. Oh, puppy. I'm really utilizing that recycled tin there. Oh, and for the record, tin strips or tin cutters, oh, they're snips. That's the word. Tin snips, awful, awful. I hate those things. I ended up just using a saw eventually, even though it's a little scarier. Okay, Bo. You don't need to lay on the couch on the bear. So right here, I'm starting to put the poop runoff. So I'm making it sloped, so then when they go to the bathroom, it'll just run down to the backside, and then I can collect it and put it in my garden. Oh, and that was so gross and muddy right there. That's the spot where our chicken coop used to be, and the dirt there was so soft that as soon as the water hit it, it just became mushy. So I'm definitely going to have to address that. Once we get a gutter on that chicken coop, it will help. And clearly it's sturdy because I'm laying in the chicken coop at that point. And here I am putting the dividers inside the chicken coop, so then there's no fighting between bucks, or maybe the bucks can't jump over and impregnate the does, or at least when I don't want them to. Alright, this is actually the next day, because I was so frustrated at that point until Chad introduced me to the little magnetic thing that goes in the screwdriver, or the compact drill, I think. And that, the nail gun. Oh, I love that thing. It made life so much easier. I probably would have, that's attractive. I probably would have been done with this like so much faster. And even the nails and the screws, at this point it's raining, but you can't really tell. I mean, you can kind of see that the ground is starting to get really mushy there. And I took off my jacket because even though it was raining, it was really warm. Putting in the sides. At this point, I was starting to run out of lumber, and I was, and our hardware store, because this is all happening during the quarantine 2020, the hardware store had run out of lumber as well, because we live in a really small community and everybody was at home doing home projects. So buy more lumber than you think. That's another thing I learned. Oversupply. And I didn't even use probably like $30, $40 is what I had to end up buying. Alright, so I'm almost done with it. It's coming together. Here I am. I'm just cleaning up the roof using a saw. Another attractive pose there. Finishing up the doors. It's really cool to see it get together like this, or come together. There you go. It's done. Make sure to check out that video of the finished product, and like and subscribe. I'm so excited to get my bunnies. Okay, thank you very much, y'all. I really appreciate it. Bye.